Let's now check the plan, and you can see that by default, you don't see the manholes or the pipes in the plan. That is related to something that we call plan styles or layout styles. This is basically how your system will look like in the plan. And by default, I already said this multiple times, by default, the sections are AutoCAD lines and the nodes are AutoCAD blocks. But this can be changed as well. So here you have some predefined styles. So I can just switch between these. You can double click on it. You can select where you want to apply this style. You can apply the whole system, or you can use different styles for different parts of the network. This is very useful. For example, if you have different types of the network, for example, in the sewage systems, you can use different styles, different visual styles with different colors, different line types to have different style, let's say for gravity networks, and different style for vacuum networks, or different style for pressure networks. Or in the water system, you can have different style for the main distribution pipelines and different style for, let's say, distribution networks. So this is something that can be achieved with styles. But I will not use this predefined styles. I would like to show you how you can create your own style. And also the star is very important with styles, because the star applies to the style which is currently used for drawing. So now this one has a star. If you go to draw, if you go to draw elements, a style that has the star will be applied. So if you create a new style, for example, new style, and you want to use that style, let's call this my plan style, be sure that make that style as a default, as if you want to use that style when drawing. But it doesn't matter, you can even change it or apply it later. It's not that big of an issue. So let's now go to edit, and let's see what you see. When I make it a default, it's not that it will immediately be applied to that is already drawn. But if I now start drawing, that style will be used for drawing. So if I open this, you will see how you can see in plan the nodes and the sections. This can be geometric shapes. So I don't know, circles, rectangles, triangles, points, stuff like that. Or it can be blocks, which is default, or it can be real 2D top view of a manhole, or even 3D solid. So first of all, let's check the geometric shapes. And if you go here in details, you can see that for each node type, for now we have only plain nodes, but tomorrow we will start building our network. So we will add reservoirs, valves, tanks, pumps, air release and washout valves, and so on. So for each node type, you can define for main and for the plain node what will be the color and the size and the graphic style. So like I said, it can be a point, it can be a circle, it can be a triangle, a square, a cross, anything. I will use circle, and for the main nodes I will leave a red color with the size of 1. For the plane, I will also use circles, but I will use the magenta color. So you can see that with this, I'm choosing the same color that I have in the layers, but you can see that you can even override the color defined in the layers. So the colors and the line types and the line widths defined in the style will override the layer setting. So it can be by layer or it can be by style. This will not change the color of the layer, but it will override it. So I will not intentionally, I will not use magenta because this is the layer color. Let's use blue, for example, and I will put a smaller size. Let's say 0.5. Let's click OK. For the sections, I will leave it to be line, and here you can see it can be by layer, or you can change color. Let's use blue also. line width, line scale, line type. I will not use line type by layer. Let's use dash dot. Okay. And now we can click here, update topology that are drawn with this style. You will see that nothing will change. Nothing will change because nothing is yet drawn with this style. Okay. But now let's apply this style. So I will double click on my plan style and I will apply it to the whole network. And now you see, this is not anymore a block. This is now a circle. And this is now a blue line. You see, it's a blue line. It's not by layer, because if we go to layer manager, you will see that our sections are still with color 150 and main and plain nodes are red and magenta. But we override it with the colors from the style and the line type from the style. So this is how you can use styles to differently show your network elements. And this is you see, this is the plane node, which is having different smaller circle with different color. Let's see what else we can do here. Let's now go to edit. Okay, so these are the geometric shapes. Let's now switch to blocks. And now here for detail, again, for each node type, you can define block and scale factor. For the nodes, you can use some of these predefined blocks offered by the software, but also you can use your own custom block as well. Here, I have one custom block that I created. So I will just copy it. It has to go to installation folder. So now I will show you where it has to be pasted. So it will appear in this dialog. So go to C, Program Files, Studio Rs, because this is where the software usually by default is installed. Search for the version. I have multiple versions because I work in development, but you will have only one. And this is my installation. This is the latest version, 10.3. I'm using it on 2022 version. Then inside it will be the language version that you installed. In my case, it's English. Then the version of not the version of AutoCAD, it's the version of Urbano, because version is the same version for 2021 and 2022. And then here, these are some of the folders. You have to go to nodes. And this is the node blocks that can be used by default. And here I will also paste my block. So just create, and it's important to say that this is a drawing. This is DWG. It's not that the block is already created inside. It's just some drawing. And when the software inserts it in the Urbano, it will become a block. So if you have a block here already in this drawing, then you will have a block inside of a block. So don't do that. Okay, and now let's go here to search. Let's go to, this is for the nodes. And now I will search for my custom block, which is P45 red. And this is how my block will look like. And I will increase it. I will have my scale factor to be 2. And for the plain block, because I'm trying to simulate maybe that for main nodes, I will have a manhole, and for plain nodes, I will not have a manhole. So here I can use these circles, of course, but also you can use, I will use point, which is basically a block, but it's a point. And now if I click OK, like this, and if I click update this and click OK, now you will see that here I have this custom block. As you can see, here is a custom block, and here we have basically a block that is called point. So this is how this can look as well. And you can see this is now a custom block, which is called P45 red. Also, what can be changed as well? Here you can see that this goes up to the center of this block or geometrical element or the real manhole. But let's change that as well. Let's go to edit. Let's go to lines, and here we'll say, okay, draw section, but now not to the node axis, go all to the manhole rim. So manhole rim or block rim, that manhole edge. So update, let's click OK. And now you see that this looks nicer. It goes to the edges of a manhole. Okay, let's now go to edit plan style. And let's change this to the real 2D style for the manholes and for the pipes. So we will have the real 2D view. And also for the manholes, it asks us here, if there is no manhole defined, what style will be used? It says here blocks. So be sure here for blocks to define how the nodes without manholes will look. So we will not use this. Let's bring back to the defaults. So let's use defaults. I will use these circles for you can use the points also or anything. I will use the H1, which is block of a circle, and here I will use H1 as well, because the blocks will still be used for the nodes without manholes. Okay, and here for the pipes, you can define what will be drawn. And also, so you can draw outer pipe wall, inner pipe wall, axis of the pipe, hatch, you can even hatch pipe wall or everything to inner pipe wall or everything to outer pipe wall. I don't like to use hatch, so I will turn it off. And you can again see that you can override the line type, line weight, and line colors from the layers. But I will keep everything by layer. Okay, let's update this. Let's click OK. And now you see that we have the real dimension of the real manhole that we applied. And here where we don't have a manhole, we have these circles that are too large. So let's go edit. Let's go to blocks, node, because the factor remained to 2. So let's bring it back to 0.5, which was the default. Okay, so that's the style that I prefer to use while designing my network, because I can simultaneously see the shape and the size of the pipes and the manholes in plan. And also in relation to the plans are the 3D style as well. So you can apply 3D style for manholes and 3D style for the pipes as well. And here you can see something that is called simplified view. I will show you what that is. So let's update it. Let's click OK. Now you will see that this will be now drawn with AutoCAD 3D solid elements. You see this is a solid element. And now if we go to 3D view, of course the labels will stay in 2D. Here you can see how this look like. And you can see, because we didn't turn on the simplified view, the software is drawing in high details. It's drawing the outside and the inside walls of the manholes and the pipes. But if you go to style and turn on the option simplified view and also simplified view for the pipes, and if you update this and click OK, now you see that you have just the outside walls. And for the 3D view, for the level of details of 300, I think this is enough, because this is enough to check for the clashes. Okay, so that's it about the styles. Let's now go back, and it's important to say that even though these are 3D solid elements, if you change something, if you increase the pipe diameter, if you change the manhole type, it will automatically update. This is not just some dead 3D solid graphics. This is the live model, but the style that is applied is the 3D style. So let's change this back to 2D view. So we will use the manhole top view, and we will use the pipe contours, meaning the 2D style. Let's click OK. And now you will see that this is now turned back to our 2D view.